Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Sharon here. This is my second video and I'd like to take you for a flip through my traveller's notebook that I mentioned in my first video. It's much smaller. It has 48 single-sided pages. It's quite plain. I am a bit of a plain Jane. I love the embellishments, I love the decoration, but I also like to give people the option to add some of their own flair to it. So without further ado, I fell in love with the paper pad. There's actually two different types of paper pads in this journal. One lot are single-sided and one lot is double-sided. Because of the size of the journal, I've kept the amount of paper that I've used to a minimum so that it all blends together quite beautifully. So I've actually stitched around the edges of the cover just to add a little bit of extra detail. I have a fabric spine and an elastic enclosure which has been tea stained. At the edges there are some lace embellishments on the pages and they just pop through to add that beautiful soft detail at the edging, and there are some paper beads that I've made hanging from the journal. The elastic band just slides off easily for easy access, no need to undo it. It can also be extended if the journal gets too big, allowing room for growth. Okay. So inside, first page, I have just a journaling pocket made from some fabric, and it has a fabric embellishment on the front with a button and an altered playing card with journaling space on the back. And this page has the lovely lace trim at the edge and the paper bead dangling off it. Okay, this page has a pocket with a little notebook. I believe the inspiration for this came from Gayle Agostinelli's channel. I don't think I've done it quite the same as her, but I definitely got the inspiration from there, so thank you, Gayle. Just some simple stamping on the front and some tea stained paper inside that I've stitched in. Over the page we have a tuck made from a book page and some of the paper pack, and just with a fabric embellishment on the top, and a journaling card from ARTYmaze. Some tea stained paper that's been coloured with food colouring and some added detail when I've dried it. A paper flip that I've made. I think the inspiration for this came from Gayle's channel also. I may have binge watched quite a few of Gayle's videos, so if it didn't come from Gayle's page I apologise, but I think that's where I saw it. And the card is from ArtVintages. They have a lot of beautiful vintage images over there and I've fallen in love with a lot of their things, so you'll see those throughout my journals as well. And this just opens out with journaling space inside. Okay, I love photography and I've been playing with turning my photographs into vintage images that I can use in my journals. This was a little bit of an experiment that I printed onto just some plain paper, so I've used that in my collage when I've altered this envelope. And this is some recycled paper that I've made as well, just using old paper that I had here, and some lace trim, and there's a tag. The backing of this is made with the baking paper that I put down when I tea stain paper. I always put baking paper down just to protect my trays, and I love the colours that it brings out, so I'm actually a win-win. I'm able to use that in the journals once I'm finished my tea staining, so I love that I can repurpose that as well. And just a little cluster here with a stamp and some wool. There's some fabric here in the book paper and journaling space on the back. This is an altered paper clip I have made with an image from FarMirage, I believe that one is from. It is. And just a little journaling card that I've stamped out of tea stain file folder. And a tea stain doily with some of the beautiful tea stained coloured paper. There's a stamp here with the lace trim on the edge of the page. As you can see, there's lots of journaling space in here. There is a pocket here using one of the paper pads. So I've used paper from two different paper pads. One lot is single-sided and one lot is double-sided, and I love the fact that I can do different things with those two different types of paper that add a little element to the journal without wasting. I don't like using the double-sided paper when I'm not able to see the back of it, because I just feel like it's a waste. That's me. This is a fabric I can't think of the name for it. It's a roll. I can show you. That I've just cut a piece off. If I think of what it's called, I'll put that in the description. I have that made up so I can just use it whenever I need it, and I've kept the colours neutral so that I can add it pretty much to any journal, and I can add embellishments over the top if I want to, or I can keep it plain as I have here, just add a little touch, something special. And inside there's a journaling card made out of a tea stain file folder that I've decoupaged a napkin on the front of it. Just left it plain inside because of those beautiful colours. And I have here I refer to it as a flag, I'm not sure of the correct terminology, just made out of book paper, and a little flower cut out that was sent to me with some items that I purchased that I wasn't expecting, so that was a lovely little surprise, and I'm able to add that to the journal here with a little piece of lace, little scrap that I had, and a journaling card made out of the paper pad. Some tea stain paper here that I've left plain. I've left the coloured ones plain. I love the colours and the details that they have on them, so I've left them as they are. It's a tuck spot made out of some of the paper, and I refer to these as my lace tags. The image at the front is from ArtVintages, some stamping at the back and just a little lace tuck spot. It's been sewn on, and then inside the lace I've popped a couple of little journaling cards. Plenty of room to write. They could add their own artwork if they wanted to, and room to write on the back of it. And here I have a paper flip. I actually saw the flips for the first time on Gayle's channel. She does both paper flips and fabric flips, and I fell in love with both. So I've used those in a couple of journals now, and I love the way they look. So this one I've just put a little cluster on the front with a stamped image on some fabric that I've sewn on, and I actually did that before I put it onto the paper flip so that I could add the stitching detail without it going through the paper flip, and then I was able to glue that on. And life is beautiful, so and that flips up. I've got some stenciling on the back of the paper just to tone down the white and make it blend a little more with the tea stain paper. Again, plenty of journaling space. This is a pocket flip So journaling space under there, and just a little cluster over the top, and this little image has come from FarMirage. The centre of the journal I've left plain. It's got this beautiful double-sided scrapbooking paper. I've put a zigzag around the edges of the paper just to add a little detail, but I thought if I left it plain, people could either write on it or add their own journaling spaces to it using pieces of paper if they wanted to, or they could add photos. So I just love the paper, so I didn't want to cover it up. We have the flag book paper and this journaling card from ARTYmaze. The paper tuck spot from the paper pad with a little fabric embellishment, and the file folder notebook with the fabric across the top and the stamping on the front. More of my vintage photo image in the collage work here, and more of the recycled paper that I've made with the lace trim. Different postage stamp on this. I love the silos. I think the colours are amazing. Very Australian actually. And room to journal on the back. Some more of the coloured tea stained paper. I love the details that I got in these. So a book page tuck with the paper pad and some fabric little cluster, and this journaling card from ARTYmaze. Paper flip out with an image from ArtVintages. If you haven't checked out her images, you should. They're just beautiful. The lace trim, and I love the fact that the zigzag is showing on the back side of the paper. I think that's a beautiful detail. So there's a paper flip down pocket here with the cluster decorating the front of the paper. And this image is from FarMirage. The coloured tea stain paper and the other side of the doily. Again with the altered paper clip and the stamped journaling card. Plenty of room for people to add their own cards or tickets or whatever they'd like to add. I didn't want to bulk up the book too much so that they could add their own pieces to it. A pocket using the paper pack with the fabric embellishment, and another journaling card made out of the tea stained coloured file folder and decoupage on the front of it just to add that little interest. I just love the colours though. The word dream, I love inspirational words, and you'll see a lot of those throughout my journals. I love the fact that they can put you in a happy place without even trying. And what more beautiful image to use than Mrs. Cog's garden image here with the beautiful blossoms. I just thought that image was quite dreamy in itself. So the tea stain coloured paper, and this is a pocket that I've made out of the double-sided paper. I've just folded down the top left hand corner and zigzagged around the entire pocket and added this lace trim just to embellish it a little and soften it. And then this card is from ARTYmaze. There's a paper flip using the paper pack with a stamped fabric embellishment on the front and stenciling on the back to soften the white and tone it in, and the lace trim on the side of the page. The last page, there's a tuck spot and the lace tags because I love them. The image again from ArtVintages, and there's a tea stain file folder tag, paper pad, and just some tea stain paper, journaling space on the back. Okay, and the elastic simply pops back over the top very easily. You can position the little dangle wherever you'd like it to sit. I like it in the middle. That's just me. And that's my traveller's notebook. That's actually the first traveller's notebook that I've made, so I was really happy with the way that came out. I hope you like it too. Thank you so much for joining me. To the newcomers, welcome. I hope you liked the flip through, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you everybody for your support. See you soon.